Hey, so Jagex recently updated the Wilderness Rogues chest, and I'm going to show you how I gear and explain a little bit about why I gear this way and what I do with it, and, you know, uh, how to get there, etc. So, I go with this loadout. Skull Prevention should be on always, because you're bringing items. You can opt to bring a third mage item. I just like bringing the Monk Robe for prayer bonus. You can replace the Mage Shop with the Monk Robe. If you're not comfortable doing freeze escapes, this is purely, the mage gear is purely for freeze escaping, so you can leave things like the rune gloves, glory, etc. behind, and just bring your literally monk robes and an SGS in your max cape, or construction cape. This method kind of relies on you having the obelisk in your house, because it's just a little bit, I mean, it's still fine if you don't have it, but it's a little bit of time loss if you have to go through Fearox to do this. But the best way is to go through your house. The second best is through Fearox. If you don't have Wilderness Hard Diary, you probably shouldn't even be doing this method, or you need an alt to do it. The only requirement is 84 Thieving. When you get to this area, you're going to pick this chest first, and you're only going to do it once. And it's just when you come in because it's on the way and it's like convenient to do. And then you're going to go over to this tile over here, and you're going to start going between these two chests only. As you can see, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tick walk, so you have to use 12 ticks to get from this chest to this chest and back, and that's a lot more than the respawn timer between these two. It's about 4 or 5 ticks of wait time on after you do the second one, where you have to sit around and wait. And so you can kind of just go back and forth between these two, and then in between the one where you have a longer downtime, you can SGS spec a rogue to get your prayer back. Unfortunately there I missed, but I had a accurate 0, so I actually still got 5 prayer back. Very nice. So basically, you just kind of keep doing this, going back and forth until you get a clue scroll. Some additional tips that you can use here. Obviously, I'm bringing freezes. If you have a solo PKer, it's really not too hard to get away from them if you're able to freeze them. So obviously, always turn Augury on. And the other thing is, sometimes you're going to have multiple people on you, and sometimes you're just going to die. In those situations, you should know what your hotkey is for your equipment, and you should make sure that you remove your Ring of Wealth and drop it. Because the Ring of Wealth imbued is untradeable, other players aren't able to see it on the ground, and for whatever reason, Jagex allows you to drop it in combat at this point in time, at the point of me recording this video. So, that in mind, if you do end up in a situation where you are going to die, you can simply drop this, teleport back up, and come and loot it, so that you don't lose it. In case of me being an Iron Man, it's a little bit annoying to get these Ring of Wealth scrolls back, because I have to do either LMS or go kill mobs for them. So I would much prefer to just drop it and not let a PKer take the scroll from me, and let him instead just have whatever loot is on me and call it a day. So until Jagex fixes it, I will continue doing that, and I recommend you do the same. Other than that, it's pretty simple. It's about a 1 out of 45. The cycle of looting the 2 chests is about 25 or 26 ticks long, depending on if you lose a tick AFKing, which means you'll loot about 8 chests a minute. Because the clue rate is 1 in 45, this would mean that it would take you roughly under 6 minutes to loot a clue. And as you saw, getting here takes basically no time at all. Gearing and getting here took roughly 40 seconds, if that. So the time to clue on this is much, much faster than any of the existing metas that have been around. The only downside is, like, if you die, obviously you have to re-gear and come back and whatever. And honestly, even if you, like, I think you have to die, like, once every 3 minutes for this to be less efficient than barraging jellies. And, you're just not going to die once every 3 minutes. There's just not enough PKers out here to make that happen. Especially if you're on the 2000 or 2200 worlds, occasionally there's a guy who comes here and trolls people for a little bit, but you can just hop to a normal world for 30 minutes and then he pisses off. So, that in mind, that's pretty much the spiel on the Rogues chest. It's super simple. The rates here are actually really good. Even while doing clues, for the last, 45 minutes or so, I've maintained a thieving rate of 150,000 experience an hour. You could probably there's my clue scroll, so I'll be leaving. You can probably purely loot these chests and get somewhere in the ball. It's probably one of the best in slot thieving methods in the game, assuming that you don't get attacked. But, You know, that's a poor assumption. You should always assume if you're going to be here for a really long period, you should assume that someone's going to find you. But typically, it doesn't take you that long to get a clue, as you can see here. And you just take the obelisk to exit out, using crafting guild cape to get back to the bank, or your glory if you're using a construction cape. And then we carry on with the clue scroll process. That, in a nutshell, is what you do for the rogue's chest. Thanks for watching.